Guys, it's Jason at Hard Money Bankers with your Private Money Minute. Today I want to talk about analyzing rental properties, and I'm going to show you exactly the software that we use, that we analyze our deals, the types of deals that we think are good rental investments, the returns that we look for when buying a rental property, and lastly, where the money comes from and the sources of capital needed when you're buying rental properties. I'm going to flip this camera around real quick, and I'm going to show you exactly the software for analyzing some of these deals. Okay, so I'm inside REI 360 and I went to Deal Tracker, which is right here, and I picked one of my deals that we're working on, and then I went to hold because it's a property that we're holding as a rental, and and then I clicked on Rental Property Analyzer, and here we are, software that we use to analyze all our deals. Typically we look for cash on cash return, and how much we're making as a percentage based on how much total cash we have out, and I'm going to explain that in a second. But this deal, purchase price was $65. That number's not right, but that doesn't really matter. It's just because we're not selling it. Okay, construction costs were $20 on this deal, so $65 plus $20. Estimate closing costs are about $5,000 between transfer tax, title insurance, miscellaneous fees. We didn't use hard money or private money on this. We used cash. But if you did use hard money, assume a few points and some financing costs. So assume another $5,000 or $6,000 for that end. So all your total purchase costs, I didn't calculate because I didn't have financing there. Total purchase costs were $5,000. Again, since this is cash, we didn't have cash into this investment, but just because it was the total amount, so we're all at this amount right here. Cool. Okay, now's the fun part. Income. We make $1,450 a month on this rental. You can click here if you want, and you can find estimate rents in the area, but this one just happens to be $1,450. 5% vacancy rate. Let's go through expenses. About $50 here, $100 homeowners. Dues about $2,000 a month in utilities, the stuff that the tenant doesn't cover. Insurance is $800, property tax is $2,500. Okay, so yearly cash on cash is $11,000. Monthly cash is about $923. This does not include long-term debt. So what I talked about is we bought this thing in cash, not a hard money loan. If we did have a hard money loan, really the only difference was we need like $5,000 or $6,000 out of pocket more, which when we get long-term debt doesn't really matter because you get that money back. So in our case, banks will lend us 75%, typically in general, 75% of the value of these properties after they're rented out and a tenant is in there. Now, the good part about that 75%, it's always common practice to have at least 25% equity in your rental properties anyways, just in case you kind of get in a pinch. It's just kind of a good equity cushion to have. So they gave us 75%. If we work our magic and we buy these properties at the right numbers, we can usually take out as much of that as possible. So in this case, we try to get a loan of $90,000 on this deal. On a loan from them, which is about 75%, and it was close to all the money we had in. After that, we'd have about $5,000 or $6,000 in. So the big thing that I look at is, the return at $90,000 with debt of $579 a month. We'd have about $400 in cash flow every month. But more importantly, we have about $5,000 or $6,000 of our own money into the deal, and with that $400 positive cash flow every month, that will cover that cash deficit in about a year or so, and that's the magic number. So we want to try to get all our cash back out of the deal within a year, and usually the best way to do that is to obviously make sure there's 25% equity in the deal, and also to make sure that you buy at about 1.5%. Your rental rate should be about 1.5% based off your total all in. So for every $100,000 of cash into the deal, that could be your cash or somebody else's cash, you'd want it to rent for about $1,500 a month. In this case, we were all in about $90,000 and it got $1,450 a month. So cool. Well, that's that. Check out the software at REI 360 inside the Deal Tracker Rental Property Analyzer. It's the best way that myself and our team goes through all our rentals just to see where we're at, just to have everything. We print them out and we run reports, and we go from there. Again, this is Jason with your Private Money Minute.